wife is home!
What up, lunatics? Kurt Money here to talk about a TV show based on the greatest film ever committed to celluloid, The Burbs.
The Burbs.
Buckle up, baby. It's Blurbsin time. On tonight's Kurt's Burbs Blurb.
All right.
Blurb number 1.
No.
I did not care for this program. Look, it's not that I'm like Mr. Die Hard fan and I'm going to be pissed off at anything that tries to be The Burbs, the movie.
I don't like that one bit.
I guess, you know what, that's kind of the good news, is that this show is so much not the movie when it comes to the plot and the characters that I'm not like pissed or bummed or anything. This is not the TV version of The Burbs to me. This is a very mediocre mystery show wrapped in The Burbs, kind of. Blurb number 2, Only Murders? This is not. When this show was announced, I had a buddy point out that this probably got the green light because of Only Murders. Now, Only Murders premiered in August of 2021. Technically, if you believe the trades, Seth MacFarlane had the idea to do The Burbs as a show in 2020. But looking at the title sequence for The Burbs, yeah, you feel like they really want that Only Murders runoff. I mean, silhouette figures in different windows in 2D animation, check and check. The difference, though, is that when an episode of Only Murders ends and they go out on a cliffhanger, it's usually a good cliffhanger and it makes me want to watch the next ep. I mean, I get why Peacock dropped all 8 of these at the same time. There's no reason to look forward to the next episode week to week. All right, it's just not bringing the heat. It reminds me more of a Desperate Housewives, not because it's shot on the same street, and not because the leads are women. I'm not coming after that. I love all the actors in this. Well, most of them. This dude can whatevs. To me, it's Desperate Housewives in that it's a quirky dramedy with like comedy light humor. Does that make sense? Not big laughs. There's a few. I mean, I think I laughed out loud 3 times. Maybe 4 in this. That's one of the beauties of The Burbs, the movie, is it's a horror comedy. This is none of that. A lot of the jokes are like plug and play sitcom jokes you've heard elsewhere. Oh, somebody peed a little.
Yep, I just peed a little.
Heard that one before. Saying some weird turn of phrase.
That freak narc will rue the day he stepped foot in Hinkley Hills.
And then pointing out that you said that turn of phrase. You've heard it before, and you'll hear it again in The Burbs.
Yeah, just used rue the day in a sentence. You're welcome.
Also, doing an impression of someone and the other person has no idea who you're doing or thinks it's somebody else. I feel like this is another joke that could go to anybody.
I was doing Sean Connery.
Now you're Shrek.
Shrek?
That's killer Shrek.
What?
You know the joke when a character is about to say a word you cannot say on TV and then it cuts to black? Like you hear the f and then it cuts? They do it here to end episode 2.
That motherfucker.
Here's the problem. They've already said the F word, the full word, a handful of times.
She's our dentist.
Maybe he doesn't with gluten?
So like, what's the joke here? We've already heard him say. That's not to say there are 0 laughs. Look, Paul Appel and Mark Prokshe, I said I was going to Google this before I recorded. God. Anyway, here, future Kurt, you say it over me just in case. Mark Prokshe. He had some good laughs. Him spelling his name, very good.
Todd Man, 1D, 2 hands.
And all the times he didn't want to be touched.
Don't touch me.
Okay. And he didn't want his phone touched.
Don't touch my phone.
That's funny. Paula Pell, a lot of great lines from her, of course.
No dog dies on my watch. That is a lesbian oath.
You got Paula Pell in your project, and she's gonna deliver.
No shit.
And she and the other people on this come out unscathed. I didn't care for the show, but I still love Keke Palmer. I even like this lady. She had a fun runner where she was like in love with her neighbor, and they play this song where he's like wiping sweat with his gardening glove while he's mowing the lawn.
Did you see that? Did you?
I did.
See, that's funny stuff. That I enjoyed. It's just that everything else is mild chuckles and boring story with 0 stakes, unless you're this guy. All the cliffhangers and all the reveals suck. The ones they want you to believe so they can burn through an episode or 2, you know they're not going to do. Like, is her husband the evil one? Let's talk about this. Blurb number 3. It started off strong. I'll admit by the end of this first episode, I wasn't crazy about it, and I knew I wasn't going to get what I really wanted out of a Burbs TV show. But there was kind of hope. The new neighbors call the cops on Samira here because she's hanging out around the house. And you think that the show is going to use this season to lean into the racial aspect of it. Like a black woman moving into a predominantly white street and stuff. And that would be a totally respectable and understandable route to go down. I mean, a lot of times when I would talk about what would the Burbs be today, that's one angle to go down. But they don't even stick to that. She'll mention it every once in a while throughout the rest of the episodes.
You told the cops that you saw a black person trespassing on your property the other day. That's what you said, right?
I'm sorry, I had no idea that was you.
Well, now you know.
But they drop all this entirely. Also, it doesn't really matter about this house.
So, what's the deal with that Victorian house.
The house is the focus of the movie. It's the center of everything.
Smells like they're cooking a goddamn cat over there.
Here is just a place for Mr. X to lie low until a few eps from now when we got to kill him off screen with no fanfare. They pretty much sideline the whole Klopek house and the people in it for like 3 episodes while they expect us to buy the threat that maybe her husband is the bad guy.
What are you doing here?
Because it turns out he's got a temper.
The patient's most overwhelming emotion is rage.
And her husband grew up here on the street, although he's super British, okay? He grew up on this street, but, you know, maybe it's him that's trouble. OMG, he went to therapy as a kid. What a psycho.
Went to a psychiatrist in high school?
Yeah, that's hardly a secret.
For anger issues?
And, like, we're hearing all these hints about this girl that went missing, and she was a friend of his, and he's lying about it.
Enough! Okay? It was 20 years ago. Her body isn't down there.
And you're like, ooh, maybe that's interesting. Maybe he killed her or something. Nah, don't worry. He and his buddy were totally friends with her and told her not to run off.
Now they're gonna run away to the city.
He's not some old dude. He's 19.
But then she did run off, and then she got kidnapped. But then don't worry, she wasn't really kidnapped. She escaped.
But I do know that if you had not taught me that stupid rope trick, I would be dead.
And she's ended up living in the house, in the Klopek house, with Justin Kirk.
Stay away from the window.
Okay, who's a big enough name in TV. I mean, he is the chief medical resident at Animal Practice. Okay, so this is like TV royalty we're dealing with.
I'm not gonna sit around and let you turn my grandmother's legacy into a zoo.
What, he's doing his rounds.
And you think that she's been married to Justin Kirk because he kidnapped her 20 years ago.
Remember, you aren't here.
Nah, none of that. She wanted to solve who kidnapped her way back then. That's why she's back in town. There's absolutely no mysteries to be had in this friggin' show. And almost every choice they make, you can feel them doing it because they've got to stretch it out. Episode 2, Keke Palmer, they're running to look for a fire.
Fire!
Don't worry, it's a bonfire. It's totally fine. But they're worried about it. She trips over a handle in the yard and she's like, huh, what's that? I'll just keep walking. Forget it. You know, we're worried about this creepy house and the creepy people that live in it. Here's a handle to something in the middle of the yard. Let's not look at it, okay? Let's save that for 2 episodes from now, and then we'll talk about it. Now, look, I was shocked they ignored it in episode 2, but honestly, kind of glad they did, because once they start talking about that damn bunker, that's all they got. It's just bunker talk all day. You'll be wishing for the days when they weren't talking about a bunker. This ain't your daddy's Burbs. The new and improved Burbs is bunker-based, baby. Oh, and remember how I called it the Klopek house?
Klopek? What is that, Slavic? No.
Justin Kirk is the Klopek of this house, but they changed his name to Wilson.
Gary Wilson. Pleasure.
Lame! Lame! Before we're working with Hans, Uncle Reuben, Dr. Klopek.
Ah, we have guests.
On the previous owners were the Knaps. They probably stuck with that, right? Nah, they're the Grants now.
How unfortunate for the Knaps.
There is one name, however, that they did use. And use. And I've had about my Hinkley fill of it. Nice. Next blurb. Too many Hinkleys. A sentence I never thought I would say. When KM said it in the promo, I was all giddy.
Something is hinky in Hinkley Hills.
Watching this show, every damn thing is Hinkley this and Hinkley that. Everything, okay? Hinkley Hills the neighborhood. Hinkley Hills the town. Hinkley Hills the library. Hinkley Hills the school. Hinkley Hills the academy.
The Hinkley Academy.
Trash company. Hinkley.
There's only one way out.
Bar. A pun on Hinkley.
Have you at least made it to Drinkley's?
Moving company. Hinkley Hall. Okay, well, Hinkley Halls was pretty good. That one can stay. It's funny how much Hinkley plays a part in it, and yet they didn't stick with Mayfield Place as the street name. And I pray they did not change it just to make this stupid ass joke right here.
Way to put Ash in Ashfield.
Ugh. Honestly, here's what I was thinking. This is what I was hoping was going to be the reveal here. You know her husband's British and stuff, right? I thought, boom, they moved back to the street. We find out, he's not British. He was faking the friggin' accent. He's actually Tom Hanks' son from the movie. He moved back here to reclaim his family name because of the embarrassment of what happened that one night in 1989 when his dad lost it and was yelling at everybody.
We're the ones who are throwing garbage in the street!
The street is now called Ashfield Place because they changed from Mayfield Place to stop all the looky-loos and like true crime people coming. Okay, that would have been something. Oh, also, guess who built this old Victorian house? You know it was a Hinkley. Sergeant Hinkley, of course. I wonder who that could be. Blurb number 5, cameo count. Sergeant Hinckley is Tom Hanks. That's right. Don't need to pay for an in-person cameo. We could just Photoshop his head in here. That was all right. There's 2 real cameos. One, Wendy Shaw plays the librarian. She gets a few lines.
I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking.
And then apparently later she's a suspect because her picture's on the wall.
Judy the librarian is one of your suspects?
Whatevs. She's in there. Love to see her. Corey Feldman shows up in the final episode to butcher his line. Remember the famous line that he said in the movie twice?
God, I love this street.
And the last time he said it directly to camera.
God, I love this street.
Remember that? Well, now he says it, but instead of street, he says place.
God, I love this place.
I mean, congrats to Ricky Butler still having that same jacket. I mean, that looks like the exact same jacket that he wore back then. So that's cool. But you're thinking, why didn't he say the line? Maybe because another character said it 10 minutes earlier.
God, I love this street.
It was friggin' off screen. It's like they ADR'd it in later to have this dude say it when he's sitting at the table behind his cup. I wish I knew their thinking there. Did they feel like they had to plant it for the non-Burbs fan so they would connect the dots from street to place later?
Who knows?
Blurb number 6, nobody's weird. This is a big problem for me. Everybody on this show is way too normal. Oh, Todd's weird, but that's just because everybody keeps reminding us that Todd is weird.
Oh, Todd. Todd says it's odd. Oh, I love you, Todd. You're such a fucking freak.
Well, this has been one of the weirdest 20 seconds of my life.
Yeah.
He sure is a funny dancer, though, isn't he? A lot of fun dancing in here. That's one thing I can give the show over the movie, is there's a lot more funny dancing going on. I guess this is a sign that our characters are having fun. Honestly, it feels like stuff you shoot for a show because you're like, oh, we'll put this in the promos. Like if the show is going to be a big hit, which it will not be, but if it was going to be a big hit, they'd have pull quotes from reviews saying outstanding, so funny. And we'd see all the characters dancing and grooving like, yeah, we're on a hit show. Not going to happen here. That's for sure.
Kinda just wanted to dance.
Which is flippin' hysterical when you know how this season ends. This was the biggest laugh for me. They set up a season 2 at the end of this thing. The whole season ends on a cliffhanger. We don't get the bad guy, okay?
Nobody kidnaps our friend in our neighborhood and gets away with it.
So this show, which is one movie that was 1 hour and 41 minutes and 21 seconds long, they stretched that to 8 episodes of television, and they still don't end it. They still don't end the story. This is just like The Last Frontier, where the last 10 minutes of the final episode was like, just you wait for next year.
It's you and your little corner of the world, Frank. And now the center of everything. I'll explain later. I should go. I have work to attend to.
No, you tell me.
I just want to make sure that your family is safe.
It's gonna get wild here on The Last Frontier. Then no. Sorry, no more adventures. This was it. Hope you enjoyed it. Blurb number 7. So is anybody bad in this show? Now you could argue this lady Agnes is bad because at the end we realize it's the HOA where it's like people keep getting kidnapped because it's not a perfect town. I don't know. It's lame and it's not resolved, okay? So, you can stick around till season 2 to find out what happens. Even the kooky stuff that happens in here isn't that kooky. Like there's Lynn, who's a member of our team and her husband died 6 months ago. She's sad. She's still in mourning. We find out halfway through the show, she's still got his body in the freezer. And 2 characters see it through the window. Ooh, trouble. Turns out she's the weird one. But we know her husband died. So it's just that she was keeping his body. Now, if they had told us that the husband ran off, and then we learn that no, he didn't run off, he's dead and in her freezer, that would be something. But instead, it's just like, oh, he did die. And guess what? She wasn't ready to let him go yet. Okay.
Marty was my whole life. My person. I couldn't let him go.
And then at the very end, they end up burying that body in the Klopek basement. I'm still going to call it Klopek basement, because guess what? I'm not going to call it the Wilson basement.
Did you know the Victorian's for sale?
The old Victorian house basement. It's the Klopek house.
About a 9 on the tension scale, Rube.
They bury a body in the basement at the very end, which is kind of like, yuck, yuck. Isn't it funny? We're turning this on its head. Like the movie's about looking for bodies in the basement, and we're putting a body in the basement.
I have an idea.
There is one other scene in the basement, and it's an homage to the movie, because they're digging in the dirt, and they hit a pipe.
I think I hit something.
And what starts bubbling out but water? Okay. Then they leave and they're sad about it and they apologize.
And I'll send you a bill for the pipe.
The equivalent of that in the movie is Ray hits a gas line.
I hit the gas line! I run! Get out of here!
And then the whole house explodes. It explodes proper in real life. They exploded a house for the movie. Now, I know it's a different world today, okay? We're not spending that kind of money. But it's just so funny. This is another good example of like why this show happening now in 2026 is so meh. It's like they'll reference the fact that they could blow. Hey, you can blow up the house if you want to. Okay.
You help me start a new chapter, here's a chance to start yours. Keep it, sell it, blow it up for kicks, whatever you want to do.
So that's like enough of a hat tip to the movie. They do the same shot from the street like with the fire department. There's an homage for you, but they're not there to put out a fire or anything. They're just there to pick up the dead body. Oh, it's not in the house. No. You know where it is. It's in the friggin' bunker, duh. Future Kurt here with extreme spoiler talk in 3, 2, 1. What happened to Haley Joel Osment? He was cast in the show along with the rest of them. And even AV Club, as recently as this week, thought he was in the show. But he's nowhere to be found. Now, it's possible he got fired for what happened last April. That I would get, but there was zero word on that. Like, I couldn't find a single mention of Osment cut from the Burbs. Nothing like that. So is that what happened? I'm shocked it was never announced. Now look, watching the show, I feel like it's possible he was going to play the garbage man. Because we see him in the beginning, and then, surprise, surprise, he's as close as we get to a big bad this season, who's very easily dispatched in the bunker. But yeah, so I could see Haley Joel playing that part. All right, anyway, back to it. There's also a shot of Keke Palmer, like she approaches the house. It's very much like in the movie. In the beginning when Tom Hanks is looking up and stuff. Now, this is one of my favorite jokes and one of the earliest signs when I started watching The Burbs of why it was the greatest movie of all time. And that is when he steps on the lawn, the wind picks up, like scary wind. And then he picks his feet up and it stops. That's funny. That's a solid-ass joke, and it sets us in this cartoon world Joe Dante's so good at providing. They do that shot kind of in the show, but it's not like the wind picks up and stops. Like, that's what I'm missing in this show is the kooky stuff like that. Like, think about all the shots you love from the movie. Like, we're not doing the, wah!
This is Walter.
Oh, there's a femur bone that a dog has at one point. Oh, the dog, by the way, this I kind of like. The dog's name was Darla.
Be a good girl, Darla.
Which was the name of Queenie, the actor dog that played Queenie in the movie. Her name was Darla. Okay, that's a great shout out because that's like, one of the all-time animal actors ever. But we don't get that. We don't get a zoom in on a dog's face. No dream sequence with a chainsaw through the wall or someone pinned to a giant barbecue. Nah. Keke Palmer does slide down a never-ending hallway at one point, so there's that. And they do show a physical chainsaw, and they also do say The Exorcist.
Chainsaw Massacre, Satanic Cult, and The Good Exorcist.
Which I think these are both references to what Ray was watching before he had his nightmare in the movie. Blurb number 8, Dante was right, and let's talk about it. It's easier for me to speak freely about this show and how I honestly feel because they didn't get Joe Dante's blessing. Like, if Dante had signed off on this, I'd be trying to like it more, but it's like, if they can't even bother to get the okay from the master, no thanks. One character did say the word gremlin, though.
Hard to do when you got a tick gremlin.
Yeah, you could have kept that one.
Not good enough. I don't cut it. But I think that this show proves that the ending to the movie was the right one to have. Now, if you look at old reviews for The Burbs when it came out, there's a lot of people that say, oh, he copped out. It's a cop-out ending. He chickened out. By having the Klopeks be bad people, it justifies how Tom Hanks acts the whole movie. Because this show is doing what everybody wanted him to do in '89. This proves that by not having them be bad guys, it sucks. Everything is toothless. Nobody's a real threat, and everybody is the nicer version of what you think they are.
Now he's a hero.
So that's why the movie feels so damn good, because Tom Hanks was right. The Klopeks are crazy. They do have a trunk full of dead bodies. Whereas in the show, the racist guy who moved in next door, he's not really racist, we don't think, but also he didn't really kidnap a girl that's his wife now. They're trying to catch out a kidnapping ring.
We thought he was your captor.
What? No, God, no. Gary is weird, but yeah, he's a good guy.
Cool. I did like when they did make references to the movie. There's a lot of fun stuff they do with lines from the movie. For instance, all the episode titles, these are all lines from the movie.
Do not mess with suburbanites.
And boy, I mean, if you liked the sardines scene, just you wait. Sardines play a big part. And then even it came with the frame line.
Under yours?
No, it came with the frame. It came with the frame?
Classic line. That gets a lot of play.
Cute picture. Is that your family?
It came with the frame.
And Keke Palmer gets to do her best Tom Hanks eating the sardines.
Grim de la grim.
We didn't get a sure was damp today. I was hoping for that.
Sure was damp today.
Here's what's frustrating to me, is I feel like this info I'm about to share, I've known, and I put on the internet 5 years ago when I found out. I bet no one who worked on this show knew this fact. It would be so easy to do. You hear, like, they talk about, oh, we have some Easter eggs in there for the fans.
And I think there's lots of nods to the original and lovely little sort of Easter eggs for fans of the 1989 film.
Cool. Here's what you should have done, is that painting that Dr. Klopek does, the friggin' rummy doesn't know which is right side and up, that painting is owned by Universal and is on the lot where they shot this show. So Universal owns that friggin' painting. They could have put that in the background somewhere in this show. That would have told me that they really cared about this. Now, I know that because that painting was commissioned for an episode of Night Gallery, was never used in an episode, okay? So they just had it when they were shooting the movie, boom, here's the painting. And like, we see a friggin' Forrest Gump poster at one point. If I could have just seen this painting on the wall somewhere in the show, I'd give it a few more points. And I feel, it's like, part of me, I don't want to say that again and put it out on the internet because I want it to be my little secret. Honestly, if I knew what building that painting was in at Universal Studios, I feel I would attempt to steal it, okay? Oh, also, you know, how cool is it that in the movie, they don't leave the cul-de-sac once? The entire movie is set on this street. Pretty cool, right?
Yes!
Well, the show, they're going outside the neighborhood 10 minutes in. I mean, we got to see him on the train. We got to see him at the library. We got to cut to Keke Palmer's brother in the big city. We're going to this Drinkley/Hank's place all the damn time. I guess they felt like they had to. But Cheers didn't leave the bar until the season 2 premiere. So that's like 26 episodes in. The Pits in season 2, they haven't left the pit. Now, those are workplaces. Okay, so I get that, but the show didn't even try to make it stick to the neighborhood. I mean, they obviously shot it there. That was cool. Oh, this was interesting too. Like, they do the pull in from the beginning. Obviously, it's better in the movie because we get to see models and stuff. They shot on the street that they did for the movie, but they left the cul-de-sac open. This little area right here, that was blocked off to make a cul-de-sac for the movie. But in this one, it's opened up. And honestly, I get why they blocked it off for the movie because they live on a cul-de-sac in this show, but all the actions happen in the middle of the street. There's not really cul-de-sac action. They have a lot of fun with the word cul-de-sac.
What's wrong with cul-de-sacs? People are weird. I think people are weird in cul-de-sacs. Wait, is it cul-de-sac? Like attorneys general?
But like, they don't live on the cul-de-sac. It's kind of around the corner, you know? There's some fun stuff here. I feel like I might need to do a whole separate video of all the references, because I did like a lot of them. They did say lunatics at one point. I liked that.
You guys must think I'm a lunatic.
Will you stop it? If you are a lunatic, then guess what? You're in good company.
That's what Tom Hanks says in his big speech in the movie. We're the lunatics.
We're the lunatics! Us! It's not them! It's us.
And that's why I call you people watching lunatics. Another Burbs ref, of course. So that was kind of cool to hear that.
Good, honey.
So yeah, in conclusion, the show's a stinkeroo. The movie rules, and you should just watch the movie. Just friggin' watch the movie. I'll leave it at that. TBITBOAT.